Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Monday. All right, guys. Well, I don't know if you caught Jason and I on Hot Messy Topics today, but we had the best live. And obviously, as you guys know, Jason announced a little fun thing that he's been working on with our friend Stephanie from Pixel Star Design. She created our entire website, and now we have a live chat option, which essentially is you go on upandadamlive.com, you create a profile, and when you do that, now you can not only comment on the stories, but every single show that's coming out on Bravo or whatever other shows that we want to add to the mix, you can go on and you can be like a part of the watch party as it's airing, which kind of takes me to like old school AOL chat rooms. But yeah, anyways, we're back to talk about some Jax Taylor, Scheana Shay, everybody in between. Smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and let's jump right in. All right, guys. So I mentioned a little bit about this before, but I think that it's becoming like more and more known at this point. Um, it's not a good thing. I'll tell you that. Jax Taylor has canceled his entire podcast tour. So people are like, well, what does that mean? I love that too. I'm getting messages like, Adam, what does that mean? I'm like, what do you mean? What does that mean? It means that he canceled his podcast tour, but he reportedly scrapped the rest of his In the Mind of a Man live podcast tour. So there were multiple venues that were a part of this tour, including Nashville, Austin, Texas, Orlando, Tampa, Houston. They all dropped the shows, saying it was because of public backlash and his on-screen behavior. I think truly, I feel like a lot of people were not willing to support him after hearing about the rage text, about the conversations he was having with Brittany, about, I mean, you can go down the line. The throwing the bar stool, flipping the table on her. I think that there were so many things that contributed to this. And a lot of venues and people don't want to be associated with potentially promoting that. It's a business. It makes sense to me. You know, I kind of find it like more interesting that it doesn't make sense to a lot of people. But listen, I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut, okay? I mean, I'm actually not, but you guys know what I'm saying. Now, his team apparently voluntarily canceled the remaining dates, saying that the timing was not right. And I agree with them. I think that his manager and also his publicist, Lori Kay, I feel like they have been front and center for a long time with him. They have been supporting him for a long time. They have been backing him. They've been booking him. And there was even a podcast episode as of recently where his publicist was like, I want to do an experiment with you. I want to take over your Instagram. I want to kick you off of the gram, and I want to see what happens after that. And he's like, well, you know, it's like hard for me. She's like, let's do it for a week or something like that. And he was like, no, 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 no. I'm not doing it for a week. You know, this is how I make my money. And she was like, okay, let's do it for 48 hours where I will take over your Instagram for 48 hours. And he was like, well, we'll see. But eventually he ended up caving and he did just that. He gave up his social media for 48 hours. But I guess only one show took place. That was in Boston. I think that the ticket sales were very, very low. There was only a handful of seats that were sold. That's what they're claiming. But fans are now demanding Bravo to fire him from the Valley, which is, I don't, and by the way, all, this is an interesting one for me. You guys know I'm not a huge fan at all of Jax Taylor. Jax Taylor's not a fan of me. We're not a fan of each other. That is fine. I never want to see somebody get fired, but if you're going to go on and exhibit this like aggressive, narcissistic like behavior and people are calling you sociopathic and all of the other things, like I'm not a moron. I can sit here and look at it and be like, man, yes, people don't want to, because It's not something that's specific or personal to Jax Taylor. What it is people are now triggered by this behavior because a lot of these things that you're going through in real time on the show, people have been through. So now you're triggering them and they don't even have the ability to watch the show because you're triggering them. And another thing too is at the end of the day, Bravo is and NBC, they're going to be responsible because now they look like they're giving you a platform to self-destruct and be like the worst person on the show. And God forbid you ever do anything that's like harmful because Jax did say, like, I want to drive my car into oncoming traffic, which I find that to be incredibly selfish, you know? And the reason I say that is because, yes, I can understand and empathize with the fact that you are hurting. However, that would also hurt somebody else. So I don't agree with that statement. I think that that statement is incredibly selfish. And people don't agree with me on that too. But one fan said, "Hey, Bravo, we're waiting for you to fire Jax. I throw furniture and cause physical harm to the mother of my child, Taylor." Ugh. All right. Now, moving on, we're going to go over to Scheana Shay because apparently this one was kind of interesting and silly. But at the Saturday Night Live season 50 after party, Scheana shared that Bad Bunny was staring her down noticeably up and down, making her pretty uneasy. And she said, every time I turned around, his eyes were on me. That's what she said on her podcast. And she joked to her mom that, you know, like, hide my ring. But she said she's kidding and she loves Brock, guys. I saw some of the comments where people were like, oh, hide your ring. That is the father of your child. I'm like, take a joke. The girl is not, she's not being for real. My God, give her a break. It's not the end of the world. She didn't do anything bad. But she said Bad Bunny is not on her hall pass, meaning he's not the one who would qualify as a harmless fling. She also clapped back at the critics of the Valley. Mm. Um, and that's because a lot of people did not want to they did not want to see her and they did not want to see Lala. And there has been a lot of pushback. I don't think that that's not really news to anyone, but this is clearly, if you look at it right here, this is what was said. One person said, "Oh God, Scheana and Lala on the Valley got right into judging and commenting. If I wanted to see them, I'd watch reruns of Vanderpump Rules." She said, "Well, now you can do both." Mm. Go on, Scheana. And the other one said, the way Scheana ran into the frame when she saw a camera on Lala, LMFAO, didn't even say a word, just wanted to be seen. And she said, I love that you think what you see is all that happened. It was about a 10-minute conversation with plenty that came out of my mouth, and probably for the best that it didn't air, but thanks for watching and more to come. No, I agree with her on that. Honestly. I'm like, what do you want the girl to do? What are you looking for exactly? I guess that's my part that I don't necessarily understand. Like, what do you want her to say? I don't know. I want to hear what you guys think. Again, don't forget to pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And also, tonight, guys, Jason, by the way, happy 11-year anniversary to my husband. Yeah, today's our 11-year anniversary. You guys can go to upandadamlive.com. You can see we have the trending news, Bravo news, celebrity news, real news, reviews. But now we have a chat option where you guys can go and click. It's a watch party, but it's not like a comment section. It's a true like live chat, like AOL chat room. In order to join us, just go click on that profile icon. Sign up now. It's all free, but you guys are not going to want to miss what we have coming up for you. So I love you guys, and we'll see you later.